Hello, folks. I am back with the tip of the day. And before I start that, I just want to thank all my supporters, my followers, and all those who leave comments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, uh, I also want you to also check out Core Essential Belts and their accessories. Get 10% off on all their belts and accessories by using my code Keenan10. It's going to be listed on the page on the video. So let's get right to it. And I'm trying to make this real quick. So this is my Staccato P. I've been shooting this a lot lately. I've been pretty much trying to train with this. And me and my friend Danny, we were out on the range yesterday, and he has a Bull Armory. We wanted to do some comparison shots with his Bull Armory and with the Staccato P. So we were just doing some do some dry run throughs before we started filming. And for some reason, this was shooting very high, and I couldn't figure out why. Now, if you looked at my Sunday morning posts, you saw on the man target that in the midsection, it seemed like the shots were a little bit higher on the heart line. One doctor, and I appreciate this doctor's comment. He said that would have been a perfect shot anyway because he is a surgeon. Matter of fact, let me get that clear. He is a surgeon, and he said where I hit the shots, it would hit the aorta. So I appreciate his comment on that. But I've also noticed that where I wanted to shoot, it wasn't. It was not where I really intended it to be. It was going a little high. So to give you an example, I had an NRA target. This is not the actual target, but this is a NRA. The target I had was an NRA target, and I'm expanding my distance on shooting. So it was 20 yards that I put that in, and the next video coming up is going to be 25 yards. So I was aiming here, but my shots were coming up here. It was just about barely breaking this line here. Maybe two shots went up this way, and it was barely breaking the line. And then I put the point of aim right here, lining up my sights. You know, this particular Staccato, the rear sights are blacked out, and there's a front fiber optic. So Danny does the same thing, and his shots were coming somewhere in this area. And we thought it was very weird that our shots were not going where we intended. Danny decided to use his Bull Armory, and his shots were dead on at 20 yards right in this area. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, if you look at this rear sight here and look here, excuse the camera, the firearm is unloaded, YouTube, so don't get upset. So what you see here is the rear sight. And what was different, Danny said there was a problem with my rear sight. And the problem was that this rear sight was sticking up very high. It was sticking up very high, and it was not adjusted properly. So my shots were coming up very high. So it was up this high, and right now I just put the sight down in its flatmost position. So that's where it is now. And that's how I originally bought the firearm, where it was in its flatmost position, and I was hitting bullseyes and hitting tape and everything else with no problem. The point I'm trying to make to you is check your sights before you even go to the range. Check it to make sure that the height is correct and your windage is correct. Because sometimes on a fixed sight or whether you're going to use a, let's say, like Glock sights or driftable sights, make sure that they're even and lined up properly. These front sights also on here can be pushed over askewed, and you can be off target, and sometimes you don't notice it. So periodically or before you shoot, make sure you check out your sight position on the front and the back. And this does not only pertain to firearms with irons, this also greatly pertains to red dots, because a lot of times when people want me to check their red dots, I line up the red dot. The dot is off way too far to the right or way too far to the left. And the only way I can really check that properly is because of the way the irons or backup sights are lined up. So that is just a quick tip that I wanted to tell everybody about when it comes to making sure that your sights are perfectly aligned. So, also, I would just want to mention that a lot of you have been basically following my post and whatnot, and I want to thank all of you for your responses. One of the things was I had somebody said, "Hey, Keenan, I noticed that your shots are coming over to the left and high or over to the left," and he knows me. He knows how I shoot. He looked at my videos before and he looks at the pictures, and he brought it up that there was basically something wrong. And it was basically, I've mentioned before that I had a hand injury that ended my career. So what I had to do was basically go to the gym, use one of those, use a stress ball or whatnot, because a lot of times I don't have any feeling in this hand. So I don't know how hard I'm gripping with my support hand on here. So I really have to smash down. So I really want to thank that person for noticing that, because it made me very conscious of what I was doing wrong and how to correct it. And like I said, a lot of you guys that follow me, you really are observant of what I do and how I shoot. So I want to thank all of you for that. And just so you know, for future videos that are coming up, I'll be doing more work with the Staccato P, and I'm going to try to get that video out with the Bull Armory versus this. Also, there's going to be an AR video I'm going to try to do the same day. This is all going to be come out on Sunday. Some AR comparisons, and also there's going to be another video. It's going to be my favorite non-AR, and this is a follow-up to a video I did some time ago about non-ARs, but there's going to be a little bit of a difference on that, on that comparison. So with that said, happy shooting, stay safe, hashtag 2A.